afternoon, Teacher Dave. In Mongolian, how do you say, do you say Teacher Dave, or Dave Teacher, or Mr. Dave? What do you say? Teacher? How do you say teacher in Mongolian? Basha. So Baksh Dave. Or Dave Baksh. That's cool. Call me that. Yeah, call me that, yeah. Today's a fun day. Today is one of my favorite days, actually, because writing is one of my favorite things to do, and no one likes to write. I always like what people don't like. It's strange. But today, we're going to go through academic writing. And why do we do that? Because you are university teachers. And I've heard all of you are university teachers, correct? And therefore, university is academics. And so they have to do academic writing. And so, you're going to write. I'm going to see how good your writing is. What do you mean? So I'll see your writing, we'll talk about it, we'll analyze it, we'll try to fix your writing. But maybe your writing is perfect. Is it? Is anyone's writing perfect? What do you think? No? Why? She's thinking. She's like, why? She's like, thinking hard. Well, there's someone in my life who's very important to me. She's my sister. Isn't she beautiful? We look a lot alike, actually. Well, she is someone I look up to so much. She is an amazing writer. Absolutely amazing writer. And she taught me everything I learned about writing. So I really value everything she says. So my sister, she ended up working for the wine journal. So yeah, this is her job. She drinks wine, she tastes it, and she writes about it. What a great job! But over time, that magazine, it went under, which means it no longer exists. So she had to find another job. And so she ended up working for the New York Times. And so she loves to write all different varieties of writing. And now she lives here. She lives in a place called Napa Valley. Have you heard of Napa Valley? Well, it's a famous place in California for wine. And once again, she drinks wine and she writes about it. But she writes so much, and she says, Dave, you know what? Oh, where is it? Oh no, I didn't do it. She told me this. She goes, Dave, nothing is written. It's always rewritten. So yeah, so basically, let me say that one more time because it's very important. Dave, nothing is written. It's always rewritten. Which means no matter what is written, someone can say it a different way or a better way. So I tell my students this because they get so wrapped up in perfection. The sentence has to be perfect. The paragraph has to be perfect. Essay has to be perfect. I'm like, relax. It's okay, because if you think it's perfect, I'll change it. And I always change it. And they go, oh, dang, you're so harsh. It's okay. It's okay. So I want you to write for me first. There's a question I have for you. Basically, where do you come from? I want to assess your writing skills. So I want you to write one paragraph. Just one simple paragraph. 6 to 10 sentences, right? On the one question, which is, what are your expectations of yourself and your group members for this 1.5-hour workshop? That's it. How was it? Talk to me. Was it easy? Was it hard? Tell me more. What do you mean? Talk to me. Was it challenging? The question is, why was it challenging? Was it because you were trying to think of how to organize your thoughts? Because you have a lot of thoughts in your head. Maybe you're thinking in Mongolian and you don't know how to transfer from Mongolian to English? Maybe. Oh no. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's like, no, so easy, no. What was hard for you then? To organize your thoughts on the paper. Okay, good. How else was it difficult? To write what? Within the content. It's good. Good. What else? Do you think you wrote academically?
No.
Oh, no. Well, let's see if you wrote academically. Let's see if you did. So in my classes, what I like to do is not give my students scores. Do you know what I do? On the screen. So if I get a piece of writing from a student, I will read it. According to the expectations I have of them, they will either get a plus, which is, you did an amazing job. Congratulations, this is perfect, this is great. You're on the right track. A check, you're okay. Some errors, but not too bad. Minus, maybe we have to do a lot more work. And so, that's how I give scores. And if I want to get really, really picky, I will go, okay. I will go plus check, plus minus. Check plus, check, minus. Minus plus, minus check, minus. Best, plus. Worst, minus. I've only given plus one time in my life. I give minus, never. I don't want to do that. That hurts students' feelings. I simply say minus. So let me hear, would anyone like to see how I would score you on your paragraph? Is anyone interested to see what you would get? Read your paragraph out loud. Stand up. Be a man. Loud voice, teacher voice. Read your paragraph. As he reads it, I'm going to listen to him, and I'm going to think academic English, and did he write academically? Then I will score him. Go ahead. Why is no one getting a plus? Tell me about beginning sentence. Why is beginning sentence so important? General topic sentence? General?
It's called thesis, and which gives the reader how the writer, discusses the point in the following paragraphs. So that's why it's important.
The topic sentence is the most important sentence in the entire paragraph. It tells the reader where you're going to go. Give me direction. No one gave me direction. Does anyone have a clear topic sentence? And if you didn't, why not? Think about it. That's important. Also, there are certain words, phrases, grammatical structures that were not academic. Why? Did I ask you to write a journal entry or an academic writing? This is why it's so challenging. So let's talk about the academic paragraph. What are your expectations of yourself and your group members for this 2-hour or 1 hour writing workshop? What does expectations mean? Yeah, what do you want from this? So what we know right now is that all of our writings are not that good. Uh-oh. Let's make it better. If you can see this paragraph, gold. I like gold. Do you like gold? Yeah. Do I have gold? None. I have no gold. So, the most important sentence in the paragraph is what? The topic sentence. Topic sentence. And here was the topic sentence. It's the first one. So gold, a precious metal, is prized for two important characteristics: resistance and usefulness. Right? Good. Everyone stand up. Good. And what's the topic sentence in this paragraph? The first sentence. Good. You know this, right? Whoosh. Row, column, myself. Row, sit down. What is the next most important sentence in the paragraph after the topic sentence? Hey! Supporting sentences? Are you sure?
Yes.
No. Good notes. Huh? What does that mean, body sentence?
Main body.
So what's the first main idea? No! I'm so happy. We're going to learn so much today. But yes. Main ideas. What's the first main idea? Yes. Yep. Here. You have the topic sentences first, right? Then you have your first example. What's the first example?
Characteristic features like resistance and usefulness.
Oh, those are two different ones, right? So what's the first one? Resistance. Who said resistance? Welcome. Okay. I'm joking. By yourself, sit down. What's the sentence that gives the example? Read it. First of all, good job, good job, good job. So we have our topic sentence that's first, you have your main idea in the topic sentence, then you have your example. What's the next idea in this paragraph? Yes?
Okay, there's an example of like being resistant to corrosion.
So what do we call that? Supporting detail. Yes! 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 Supporting detail. Oh, wait! Good. So we have the first one is topic sentence is most important, right? Then you have the main idea. Then you have the supporting detail of that main idea. What is the supporting detail of resistance? Read. And it goes on and on and on. So there are many supporting details for resistance. It's not just one sentence, it's more than one sentence. Right? Good. I'm a nice person. Try again. Usually you should have a teddy bear, okay? This is my hotel room. That's all I have. Sit down. Okay, what's next? So we have our first example. We have our supporting detail. Then we have another example, right? What is it? Yep. Huh? Say it again.
Application.
Usefulness. Usefulness. Do you see that?
Usefulness.
But usefulness. So in the topic sentence, there are the two main ideas. You see that? Okay. Usefulness, right? You can choose two people to sit down. What is the supporting detail for usefulness? Yep.
Another characteristic of gold is
I'm sorry, use your teacher voice. I can't hear you. For many years. Good teacher voice over here, by the way. Good teacher voice. I want to hear your teacher voice. Let me hear it.
Another characteristic of gold is its usefulness to industry and science.
Good job. Good job. She's like, I'm ready. Go. Choose two people and sit down. And look around. People are still standing, right? Good. What's the last important sentence? Raise your hand. Conclusion. And what is it here? In conclusion, gold is treasured not only for its beauty, but also its utility. Right? Good. Whoosh. Column. Myself. Column. Good. Let's continue. One more time. What's the most important sentence in this paragraph? You're sitting down. Yes. And what's it called? What is it called? Topic. Good. Whoosh. Yourself. What are the two main ideas in this topic sentence? Resistance and usefulness. Good. He's a basketball player. Choose two people to sit down. Good. What's the example of resistance? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Stand up. What's the example of resistance? 5. Yeah.
First of all, gold has a lost experience that is resistance to corrosion.
Good. Whoosh. Rose, Paul, myself. Sit down. Good. What's the next example? We have resistance and use. Raise your hand. Okay, and what's the example of it? And what's the Whoosh. No, call myself. Calm down. I love the last people. There's two people, right? Okay. What's the most important sentence of the paragraph?
First sentence.
Right, there's two of you.
Topic sentence.
Topic sentence. Good. See, as a teacher, I can decide. Do I want the last person to stand? Do I? If I do, go. But I'm a nice guy, right? So I'll say, choose one person to sit down. Good job. Good job. So the point is, an academic paragraph has a topic sentence. In the topic sentence, there can be one or two, no more than two, main ideas. After the first main idea, have the example. Then have a supporting detail. Then example, supporting detail. Don't forget the supporting detail. Because in English, I don't know about Mongolian, the supporting detail solidifies what you're trying to argue. It proves whatever example you have. So look at your paragraph you wrote for me just now. Do you have a topic sentence? Fix your topic sentence right now. Fix it right now. So, have a topic sentence. Give me one example and one supporting detail. Fix it now. Go. Remember, topic sentence, main ideas, examples, supporting detail. Keep that in mind always. And last, concluding sentence. But that's just the paragraph. If you have many paragraphs together, you don't need concluding sentences because it will blend into the next, right? So we can identify, we can change our own. This is what a professional academic textbook's paragraph is like. Let's analyze it and see, can you see the topic sentence? Can you see the main ideas? Can you see examples and supporting details? Okay? This is from Oshima, 1996, which is writing academically. It was a long paragraph. I'll read it with you first, okay? Although we all possess the same physical organs for sensing the world, eyes for seeing, ears for hearing, noses for smelling, our perception of the world depends to a great extent on the language we speak, according to linguists Edward Sapir and Benjamin Lee. They're famous, right? They hypothesized that language is like a pair of eyeglasses through which we see the world in a particular way. A classic example of the relationship between language and perception is the word snow. Eskimo languages have as many as 32 different words for snow. Wow. For instance, the Eskimos have different words for falling snow, snow on the ground, snow packed as hard as ice, slushy snow, and wind-driven snow. The ancient Aztec languages of Mexico, in contrast, use only one word to mean snow, cold and ice. Thus, very academic. If the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is correct, and we can perceive only things that we have words for, the Aztecs perceive snow, cold, and ice as one and the same phenomenon. Very academic paragraph. Woo. In your groups, do you see the topic sentence? Do you see the main ideas, supporting details? Do you? Can you point them out? 3 minutes. Go ahead. What's the main idea of this paragraph? It's the first one. But what's the main, so the topic sentence, right? But what's the main idea? Perception. Perception is what? Good. Yay, we're good. Then, what's an example? The word, good. The word snow is an example. Now, what's the supporting detail of that? There you go. Good. Is there any more examples or supporting details? What is there? Yes. Yes. Good. Not really. Yes, there you go. There you go. Look, the ancient Aztec languages of Mexico, right?
Yes.
Good. Exactly. Good. Does this paragraph have, I asked you, does the paragraph have concluding sentence? It looks like it, but remember I said this was taken out of a longer passage. So it's part of a longer passage. It's long. So there's no concluding sentence here. It leads into the next paragraph. So now you see, you know what a good paragraph is? Good job. Very good. But we're not done yet. So when we write, remember, nothing is written. It is always rewritten, right? This is called the writing cycle. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Good. So what happens is, in the writing cycle, you have pre-writing, which means what do you do before you write? Sometimes people make a list. Sometimes people like to draw. You can teach your students different ways to pre-write. And that's very helpful. What do I do when I pre-write? I write. That's actually my pre-writing, is free writing. I like to free write. Once I free write, I then go to my computer or go to my piece of paper. Once you pre-write, outlining or drafting. Then you revise and edit. Then you revise and edit. And I'm sorry, my computer was not correct, but you revise and edit. You revise and edit. You revise and edit. You revise and edit. Never ending. That's the writing cycle. So the question for you teachers, do you ask your students to write something, collect it, score, and give back? Do you do that? Don't do that. Because that's one time, right? If I were you, give them an assignment, collect it, plus, check, minus, give it back to them. They have another opportunity. Then give it back. Then what I do, they have all semester to work on the writing. I say, you have all semester to go home and work on it. The last day, that's when I collect it and give you a score. So they have the whole semester to work. Do you see? That's what I recommend. Questions about that? So it depends on level. If I have an advanced level class, my students will write anywhere between 10-page assignments to 20-page assignments. They'll do research papers, right? If I have intermediate level class and work on argumentative writing, expository writing, stuff like that, maybe 4 pages to 9 pages. If I have beginning level class, we'll work on letters or, really basic paragraph structures, right? It depends on the level. I kill myself. I am a workaholic. Okay, keep that in mind. Dave's a workaholic. I like to spend late nights working on my students' writing. I enjoy that. But some of my friends don't. They think I'm crazy. So depending on your comfort level, you assign as much. I tell all my students the same thing. I go, students, there are 60 of you. In here there are about 60, right? If I say everyone write 1 page, how many pages am I reading? 60. 2 pages. 120. 3 pages. So I always tell my students, I'm doing this much work if you do this much work. Do you see? At the same time, my students realize when I give them feedback that I actually care about their writing. And they're like, wow, good feedback. Not too much feedback. Appropriate feedback. Like, what's your main idea? Where's your supporting detail? I don't understand. I don't check every single grammar. That's one, research shows waste time. Right? Don't waste your time, don't waste their time. Okay. Any other questions? Good idea, huh? Yeah. And so in my writing classes, at the end of the semester, they have what's called a portfolio. And in the portfolio is their final paper and all the drafts they have. And so when I score them, 20% is the final, and 80% is the drafts. And I checked, did they actually make the changes that I asked them to make? Cool, huh? So, we talked about the general structure of a paragraph. Let's go into more detail now. Informal versus formal writing. What does that mean? So when we teach writing, we look at organization, we look at grammar. What else do we look at? Vocabulary. What else? Punctuation, structure, also logic. And formal versus informal. I tricked you. How did I trick you? What did I ask you to write? What was the topic I asked you to write? But look, I'm a mean teacher, I know. On purpose. What are your expectations of yourself and your group members? Many of you wrote, my expectations are, is that formal or informal? Informal. Informal. So we have to change it. We shouldn't use the words I or my. Well, that's what some people argue. I think it's okay sometimes. Depends on your comfort level, right? Here's a sheet that explains some informal versus formal words. Look at it really quick. Also, academic writing has the economy of expression. What does that mean? It means get to the point. Get to the point. That's what it means, right? So, okay, are longer sentences and bigger words better? Many teachers tell me that teach writing, teach longer sentences, you sound smarter. Use bigger words, you sound smarter. Is that true? Not at all. Not at all. If you are more confusing in your writing, your reader will be confused as well. So my sister, who writes for a living, always reads my writing for school. I love it, because we have two completely different lives. And if my sister can understand my research, I'm doing good. Because she has no idea about social cultural theory. She has no idea about methodology. She knows one, right? So, the APA manual is what linguistics majors, what we work with. This is the World Bible for language writing, right? What does that say? What does the Bible say? The Bible says, say only what needs to be said. You can tighten long papers by eliminating redundancy, wordiness, jargon, evasiveness, overuse of the passive. No, we want active voice in writing. Circumlocution, and clumsy prose. Short words and short sentences are easier to comprehend than long ones. Boom! A couple people had a whole paragraph that was one sentence long. No. So I agree with this and also disagree. I think we should have short sentences, long sentences, medium sentences, short sentences. I think you should vary your sentences in your paragraph. Right? That's my thinking. So redundancy. For example, they use redundancy a lot, because they want to prove a point, right? So for example, they were both alike. Get rid of both. You see that? How about this? A total of 68 participants. Don't say that. Just say 68 participants. What else? 4 different groups. 4 groups. Do you see that? This is actually from my students' writing, by the way. Next, instructions, which were exactly the same as those used. Get rid of exactly. Absolutely essential. reason is because. Some of you have this, I saw that. Okay? And so, please reduce redundancy. That's redundant. I'm going to skip that. I like to do what's called a writing circle as well with my students. So they will take, for example, we don't have time, but they will take their essay or their paragraph and they will go in a circle. Okay? And there are 4 different things they look at. The first time I say, look at your group members' content. Don't look at grammar, just look at content. Then I say, look at organization. Then they pass it again. Look at grammar, then pass it again. Look at appropriateness. These are the 4 things I want them to work on. They track their writing, and at the bottom they say, next time I will do blah, 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 blah. See that? Look at it. I force my students to do it every time they write. And then at the end of the semester, they have their final paper, all the drafts, and all the comments. So the writing is not product-oriented, it's process-oriented. You see that? It's a process. And so, today we learned many different things. First, and more importantly, we learned that your writing needs a little improvement. But you know what? So does mine. Everyone's writing needs improvement. 2, we learned that in academic writing, structure is very important. And that the structure, such as topic sentence, main idea, supporting detail, and concluding sentence, is the logic structure of many English paragraphs. We also learned that there's informal versus formal writing. And we learned how to avoid informal writing. Finally, we learned that there are certain things that we need to do as well, such as pay attention to certain words. And most of the time, word choice is the problem. How to fix that? Use a corpus. It takes time to work on corpus. It's not easy, it takes time. And finally, avoid redundancy and track progress. We did a lot today. Any questions? I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.